This hangout is now live. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Woo.
This is At Home with the Fishers, episode 12, starring Chris.
That's me.
And Nicola Fisher. And our special guest tonight is Mr. Jamie Page.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, you put the sign down now. So let's just say hello to everybody who's in the live chat. T+G Making.
Hi, guys.
Wayne the Woodturner.
Hi, Wayne.
Knotted Pumpkin.
Hi, Pumpkin.
JP Woodwork.
Oh, yeah.
AH Bespoke. Anna B Workshop.
Hello.
Baz Starkey.
All right, Baz.
Leona.
Hello.
Have I said Anna B Workshop?
Yeah.
Prickly Sauce.
Hi, Rob.
Andy Pugh.
Hi, Randy.
Christine and Michael Hesseltine.
Good evening.
Dave the Wood Barber.
Good evening, Dave.
Mark Smith.
Hello.
So I think that's everybody.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Well, welcome and good evening to everybody on this quite a sticky evening.
Yeah, it is very sticky.
Nicola nearly passed out and threw up before.
Yeah, I was too hot.
She got too hot. She'd been working on the computer with the door closed because you were writing, weren't you?
Yeah. So
you were sort of like in the zone and you wanted peace and quiet, and then you came downstairs and you were all quiet, and I said, "What's wrong? You feel sick?" So
yeah, backfired on me. So we've got the fan on now.
Yeah.
So well, welcome everybody. And welcome, Jamie. It's great to have you here. So before we get started, I'm just going to consult my notes. So we know that Jamie is a scroll saw master.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. He is also involved with Makers International podcast. He's a YouTuber. He's a woodturner. He's a maker and a podcaster. And we're going to talk about some of the things that Jamie makes as we go. But we will be talking about scroll sawing
and
as
he's
well.
Also one of the regulars at all the shows and expos.
Yes,
and that includes globally as well. He's all over the chuffing place. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, mentioned Atlanta. And
yeah, you'll have to give us a few tricks on how to raise all these funds to get over to America. Yeah.
Be yourself, mate. Be yourself.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll start robbing a few banks, I think.
So, well, let's get started with the first question, which is, Jamie, why do you make?
Why do I make? I guess it kind of comes down to the fact that I've always been kind of surrounded by makers of all kinds, ever since I was a kid, really. Now, granted, 99% of my family only ever really used a hammer for everything. But my dad was actually he used to work on a building site or construction site if you're in the US.
Yeah.
And he was a tower crane operator.
Wow.
And he on his lunch break, you can kind of guess where I'm going to get the crazy from now when I tell you this next bit. On his lunch break, he used to get out of the cab and sunbathe on the counterbalance.
Honestly.
Yeah. And it's got like a 12 foot swing.
Oh my God.
So, and ever since I was from as young as I can remember, my dad always promised me that he would build me a tower crane of my own in the back garden. And he did actually get one day as far as bringing home the actual controls. I'll grant him that. That's as far as he ever did get. But going to the construction sites with my dad when I was a kid, I never, it kind of forced it into me that I never wanted to do anything else but get my hands dirty. I could never be in an office job or anything like that. I wanted to do something where I got my hands dirty, you know. something in the trades. But as like I got older and things like that, and through schools and even after school, that was still the dream, if that's what you want to call it. And I still carried it on. I went done as many as my exams, even though that wasn't the exams that I was allowed to take, was woodworking or anything like that. But after I left school, I progressed outside classes that direction. Like, I think it was a CITB, Construction Industry Training Board.
Yeah.
And basically passed all of that to the point where I had to go and as soon as that done, I'm gonna say life got in the way. Let's just say a few health issues, and everything just come tumbling down, and it basically turned around the fact that everything that I wanted to do as a career, I ended up having to turn into a hobby, and that's where it ended up. And that's when I opened up a little shed. Again, I had my first one when I was maybe 10 or 11 in the back garden. And then that closed down because I guess I just lost the thrill. And like I say, I opened it back up once it became a hobby and just started tinkering around again. And yeah, it started. Then I started taking it seriously again on Sterling Davis's video on how to make coasters on the scroll saw. I'd never ever once ever seen a scroll saw before until I'd seen that video, and I was like, I've got to have a go at that. And as soon as I touched it, I was like, there you go, I'm hooked. So, and a few years down the line, and now you got Bamba.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at Bamba then whilst we're just
yes.
Bamba.
I'm just reaching over, folks, for the amazing scroll saw portrait that Jamie did for us, and it's of Bamba.
Yeah, there you go.
So can people see that?
Yeah.
So now Jamie, being the lovable, considerate guy that he is sort of like one of his main objectives was to do a portrait that would be tactile and sensory for me, because I'm, in case you didn't know, I'm blind. So we can't thank him enough for going the extra yard. And I know that Jamie does a lot of scroll saw work, but he did do this bearing in mind my disability, and it is absolutely amazing. And I remember when Jamie gave it to us at Maker Central. Well, actually,
sorry, hang on, can I just interrupt? They can only see you, Nicola.
Oh, what?
Also, they can only see me. Sorry.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I forgot. Yeah. There you go.
All right. Said she had exhaustion. So anyway, sorry. So anyway, here is the beautiful scroll saw portrait of Bamba, and it's hugely tactile and sensory for yours truly here. But when Jamie, he sort of like presented it to me, and then he said, I'm keeping it for the weekend, you can have it when we're going home. And then when I'd finally got my hands on it and took it back to the Axminster stand, even the Axminster boys were saying, holy beep, 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 who beeping did that? Beep, beep, amazing. So it is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so very much, Jamie. And so, yeah,
right.
There you go. So it's come a long way, mate, from your coasters to do works of art like this. So thank you so very much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it down now, everybody. So, that's
we'll go back to Jamie now.
Just a little example of Jamie's mastery of the scroll saw.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you started doing scroll saw work and then you got hooked on it. And I just find it interesting that a lot of people who get into making, they come across something and they go on to be real really skilled at it, and it's quite interesting. It's like you with wood turning. You go down this route and you become an amazing master at it.
Like Jamie said, after that first introduction, he was hooked.
Yeah,
and he's realised that this is something I'd love to do. This is something I want to do. And after thousands of hours of practice and dedication, you know, you end up with a very, very high level of skill and expertise, and that comes across in Jamie's scroll saw work. But yeah, you have a little play, you're hooked, and that's it. You'll be doing it for the rest of your life, and that is so true of so many people. But that one introduction to a particular tool like a scroll saw or a lathe, it's just the start. Once you've started messing around, you start going, I'm going to stroke my chin and think about what else can I play with. Oh, a lathe or a table saw or a welder, and it's just this domino effect.
Yeah.
Do you agree, James?
Oh yeah, without doubt. I mean, you could quite easily take your case for argument's sake with the lathe.
Mm.
You turn your bowl, and then all of a sudden you think, right, what effects can I put in that? Right, now I'm going to take the Arbortech to it.
Yeah.
You know, just a prime example.
Mm.
You know, and then there's different sanders, there's different attachments for your Dremel or anything that you can do to it. You know.
So where do you want to take your scroll sawing? Have you got particular plans, or are you just sort of going with the flow, or is there something you'd really like to do with it?
I don't know really. I mean, I suppose I could put it on a mobile cart and just wheel it anywhere. It's a small device. No, I don't know. The truth of the matter is at the moment, I'm happy where it is. I see a lot of people want me to start putting out, let's say simple projects, and I don't know. I kind of feel like it after I've put out steak, I can't go back to corned beef. Do you know what I mean? It kind of feels like a bit of a cop out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I guess I could put out some videos that are like, I don't know, maybe a beginner scroll saw series, maybe some hints and tips. But I can't just. I don't feel I can go back and do just a simple silhouette picture.
Yeah.
That will take 2 minutes to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested in what other people would think. I mean, if they want me to do that sort of stuff, then I don't know. Maybe I'd consider it. I just feel it'd be a cop out.
Yeah, I think most people would say that though. If they've become proficient at something, you want to move your skills forward. You want to keep growing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you don't really want to go backwards.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually got some patterns sitting on my computer for a clock that could quite easily take me a good couple of hundred of hours to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be one of my next projects coming up, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll just go back now to the beginners things and the tutorials. A good reason for you to do that, I suppose, is that you will inspire the next generation of makers. So you've got some some kids out there who's want to have a go at the scroll saw, and the dad's got one, or maybe the granddad, and they might come across you that's very, very skilled at it now, and you're going to inspire the next generation of scroll saw artists. So I would say yes, keep always be pushing the bar high and pushing your own artistry and going for ever increasingly more intricate and difficult designs. But I do think that doing a Jamie Page beginner's guide to the scroll saw would be nothing but a great thing to inspire upcoming scroll saw artists. So I just thought I'd chuck that in there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even mind even writing maybe even a small book and just put it on my Google Drive and say, right, there you go. There's a little bit of
an ebook.
An ebook for a free download.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah.
So you would turn as well.
Yeah. I've been doing that for 4 years now. I think 3 years, 4 years.
Do you enjoy that as much as the scroll saw? Is it just a different thing?
Yeah. I love it just as much. It's gotten now to a point where I know I want to get out to the workshop, and I struggle to walk. Like, I've got my scroll saw on my right and my lathe on the left, and I find it hard to go. I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
what one do I go on? You know. Sometimes when I'm feeling a bit stressed, there is nothing better than roughing out a big chunk of wood down to a toothpick. But then there's also nothing better than whacking on a podcast or a bit of music and just listening to that whilst kind of, let's say, meditating, if that's what you want to call it, or just relaxing to that while scrolling. Because you end. I mean, it's kind of funny. When I was doing the Queen, just at one for argument's sake, you do a certain section of that, and all of a sudden 6 hours has gone by.
Yeah.
You know, and you're thinking, where the hell has the time gone?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then you look at the project and you think, I've hardly done anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get angry with yourself.
Yeah.
6 hours and you've done nothing, and then all of a sudden you're angry again until the next day.
Yeah. You've got to have a lot of dedication to put in the number of hours that it takes to complete a project.
Yeah. You definitely have a lot of patience.
Yeah. You said Bamber in a long time, and
I did Bamber in 2 days.
Yeah.
So two 5-hour sessions,
and
that's obviously just cutting.
Yeah.
So.
It is amazing. I need to have a go at that. I think that's one thing that does appeal to me. I just like the way that you kind of hold everything. And I was going to try and have a go when we were at Makers Central, but we just ended up being too busy and not managing it. But that's something I'd like to have a go at sometime.
Yeah.
So anything else on making, Chris?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So what podcast do you listen to?
What podcast I listen to? I listened to I was actually listening to the one this morning called Scratched. That's it's got Eloy Escajado, Doc Jared Hildebrandt, Rory May, and I can't think of his name now. I don't know. He's probably irrelevant. Brian Bales. It's because he's away in Egypt at the moment.
Right.
That's why he's not there. But the episode they released today had Sarah Connor from Wartooth Designs as kind of a guest host.
Yeah.
On today, they do a podcast, and it's nothing maker related. It's obviously a podcast made by makers, but it's basically about movies, music, general mess about ability. If you like. I often listen to Fools with Tools.
Oh right, yeah.
I'll go back and listen to our own every now and again.
Yeah, we do that.
It's like some of our very, very first episodes.
Yeah.
Like the ones with Alan and Joe. Because some of them are really, really funny. I don't know, I listen to Making It. I've listened to the Fitzall podcast a couple of times.
Yeah.
I've listened to quite a few podcasts.
Yeah, I like podcasts. I don't tend to listen to maker ones. I listen to Making It sometimes. But a lot of mine are sort of photography, writing stuff, that kind of creative stuff that I listen to.
In the car a lot.
When I'm on my own in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love podcasts. We love doing this though, don't we? It's sort of, we decided to do it, and then we find it really good. And I suppose it's the same with you, with Makers International. It's just chatting with people and finding out a bit about them, and
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Interesting.
It's interesting and it's
Yeah.
fun, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Trampled Underfoot. That's another good one. That's Eloy and Mark Lindsay. I think that's mainly kind of just around music.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
what has the maker community given you?
what has the maker community given me? The maker community has given me, I'll tell you what, it's given me more than friendship, more than money, more than family, more than you could ever imagine. And you know what? Every single time I try and scratch the surface on trying to give back to the community to what it's repaid me,
Yeah.
it kicks me straight back down and says, there you go, have something else.
Mm.
You know, it's given me so much.
Mm.
You know, I'll give you a prime example. The laptop I'm on right now, from the community. 2 trips to America, from the community.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's just like money wise, direct money. I haven't got to go into the friendships I've made over the many years.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I could go on for days, weeks, months, years. What this community's given us, and I'll never ever be able to repay back what it's given us.
Yeah, I think everybody said the same. It's a unique group of people, and it's certainly not like anything I've ever come across before. You know, the generosity of spirit and the kindness of everybody. You know, when you meet people at things like Maker Central, it just, you know, I mean, I'm in a slightly different position because I'm not a maker like you guys, but everybody's so amazing and just so great to talk to. It is unlike anything I've ever come across.
And it's definitely a force. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
You got a nice mug as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's actually a funny story about this. I don't know if you'll be obviously it's a podcast, so I know the viewers that are going to be listening to the audio version, they'll have to come over to the YouTubes when it goes live. But you can see that there's a black line going down there.
Yeah.
Down there on the logo. Well, I actually made this cup along with Chad at Chad's house, man crafting. And while it was being lasered, there's a guy that I was traveling the States with called Mark, and we was recording the laser process. Well, you're not supposed to have the lid open on the laser while you're recording it, right? But Mark just happened to lift up the lid on this occasion and poke his GoPro in there, right, on the end of a stick. Well, as he poked his GoPro in there, the string that was on it dangled down and swung in front of the laser mirror.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. And what actually happened is we took the cup out of the laser, right, and also we're wiping it, and there's this black line going straight through it, and we couldn't work out why. All of a sudden, Mark looks at his camera and turns around and says, "Look, it's the string ain't on my camera."
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we look in there, and the string's at the bottom of the laser.
That.
And I've actually still got that piece of string in my wallet.
Oh, wow.
Chad was going to make me another cup, and I was like, no, there's a story behind that cup.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
they're good, those mugs.
So yeah, there's a good lesson there. People, don't be lifting the lids on lasers.
Yeah, and make sure always wear your glasses as well.
Yeah.
So that could have been your eyes.
Yeah, and I could tell you don't want to be going down that road.
Yeah. No. But then again, you could always be a good woodturner if you do.
Yeah, there is that, I suppose. Thanks, Amy. Love you, man.
So, whilst we're on the maker community, you've got a number of tattoos as well of some
I've got a few
makers. So who have you got?
Who have I got? I have got a tattoo of Andy Berkey.
Yeah, he's
I've
just
got
handy there.
yeah,
On the
I
sticker
think there's two of his.
Yeah,
One of them on the. That sticker there, you had to go up to him in 2017 and go boom boom waffle swamp. Otherwise, you weren't getting one of them stickers. I got the tattoo. I got an Izzy Swan tattoo.
Yeah.
I've got a tattoo of Steve Twidell's, I'm guessing, old logo now.
Yeah. Earnings.
So, yeah, Temple Woodturners. Which is what is it? Live with Steve Twidell now.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called now.
I think he's on. He was on the chat. Woodturning live with Steve Twidell. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Woodturning live with Steve Twidell. So, and I've also got Rob Summerlin.
Yeah.
Which is Steve's best friend, stroke brother.
Yeah.
In Canada, yeah.
Over in Canada. I've got a tattoo designed by Sarah Connor from Wartooth Designs. And I've also got a tattoo that says cacao.
Cacao?
Cacao.
Go on, tell us the cacao story.
So the cacao story, it started off as a joke, or it started off as a private thing between Cole Jacobson and Robin Jacobson. And it comes from a TV show. I'll tell you the short story. Otherwise, it will be here all night. And basically, what it is, it comes from a TV show called Portlandia in the US, and it's basically a safe word. They found it at the back of a chocolate bar. So while they're laying in bed, she goes cacao, 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 and because she thinks it's a good safe word, and Carl and Robin were using it in their daily life. Like, Carl, take out the trash, cacao. And one day, Carl on his live stream, he was juggling with one of his turning chisels, and he happened to drop one of them. And he turned around and said, cacao.
Oh.
So I turned around in the chat and basically said, what's all that about? So when they told me about it, I wouldn't let it go. And the birth of cacao was born. So when I went to the States in 2017, there was me, Mark Saunders, Robin and Cole sat in Applebee's restaurant. And I think Cole might have had a little bit too much to drink, one too many cocktails. He turned around and said to me, you get cacao tattooed on you and I'll get it done as well. And I was like, don't dare me, Cole, because I'll get it done. And he did. So I did. So now Cole went and got his very first tattoo, and it was cacao. Robin's also got it. Steve Twidell's got it. Cole's brother's got it. I think Sterling's planning on getting it. So yeah, there's a few people that's got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And is it Sterling's got JP Woodwork as well? He's got.
Yep. Yeah. Sterling's got my logo tattooed on him as well. I'm going to be getting Sterling's logo tattooed on me soon. That was part of a deal. Sterling's also got Team Scroll Saw tattooed on him as well.
Yeah.
I've got to get Team Scroll Saw tattooed on me as well, as has Julian Martinez. So, yeah,
amazing.
That was a pinky swear over a bit too much moonshine Atlanta in this year just gone.
So, how many tattoos have you got altogether then?
Quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. I've actually got Al's Hack Shack working on practicing tattoos as well. So Al can actually practice tattooing his logo on me himself.
Right.
Wow.
So
what has the maker community given
and
you?
I still want Chris to do his as well.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, a tattoo by the Blind Woodturner. There you go. Well, I'm up for it if you're up for it.
I don't mind what he writes, as long as it's not a curse word.
It wouldn't
or as long as it's not phallic shaped.
No.
But, yeah. I don't mind what you put on my leg.
No, we'll get
as long as it's from
yeah,
you.
I'm game for that, of course I am. If you're up for
I
it,
think that
I'm
would
up
be
for
a
it.
good YouTube video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be good. So
So I'm not sure whether we've covered some of this, but what do you love to make?
what do I love to make? I don't know. That's kind of a difficult one, really, because obviously it's anything really, as long as I get to go on the tools that I like, which is the scroll saw on the lathe.
Yeah.
I, I don't know if you'd. I guess you'd some. I mean, when it comes to the stuff on the scroll saw, someone once classed it as art. So if you want to class it as art, you class it as art. If you want to just call it a picture, call it a picture. You know, I just like making stuff on the scroll saw and making stuff on the lathe. You can call it what you want.
Mm.
You know, bowl, goblet, picture, art.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
Call it what you want.
Well, all right, then I'll just sort of like ask you, is there anything you'd really like to make that you haven't yet? Or a technique or a tool you'd like to use that you haven't yet?
Yeah, I want to have a go at forging.
Right, okay.
Forging and like leather working.
Mm.
You know, it's kind of I've been I watch a lot of the Red Smiths videos, and I'm actually planning on going down to Steve from Moonshine Metalworks fairly soon, to scan, have a word with him, and see if I can have a whack a couple of bits of metal down there. So, yeah.
So that that sounds awesome, and I was planning to do a bit of forging at Makers Central, and they invited me over. He said, "Chris, you've got to come over." He said, "We've got to have you hitting some sort of like hot steel." And we went over, and the queue was massive. And with me doing those 6 demos, I didn't really have the time. But I'm like you, I am frutching to hit and pound some hot. Yeah. So that's on my hit list. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'll be.
I can imagine it now with a bit of flash dance music in the background.
Yeah. You over your chair, and I
He's a maniac on the.
Yeah. Me and Bamba there trying to chuck a bucket of water on you, and you're there going, "Chris, you missed." Ah, screw it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Tattooing and pole dancing. No, it's going to be.
Yeah, you might just make a branding iron.
Yeah.
So, how did Makers International podcast come about?
How did that come about? But basically, right at the very, 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 very start, Chris, Richard, Joe, and Alan begged me. No. What it was I think it was Alan and Chris were talking about doing a podcast, and they started talking about getting someone from the UK in on it. And I think they approached me first because I was kind of known fairly well in the community. So I turned around and obviously agreed to it. Well, after I agreed to it, we then approached Joe. Well, Joe and Richard had already recorded their own pilot episode for their own podcast. I can't even remember what they said they were going to call it now, but it was like a play on words on something, and it was supposed to be rude or something like that. But it was a maker podcast, but it was supposed to sound rude, but wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be funny anyway. And but so Joe being Joe, he was kind of like, oh, I'd love to, but I can't. I've got plans with Richard, blah blah blah. So we were all kind of like, well, bring Richard along. He can do ours. Why have him as well. You know, so that's where all 5 of us all become one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because you've been doing that for quite a while, haven't you? Is that 3 years?
Yeah. It's literally just under 3 years.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3 years in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Well, time flies.
So yeah. You get to see the exact dates when you do all the uploads onto the website and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've never ever missed one episode either.
Wow. I suppose we've
Commitment.
Yeah, and we're doing this sort of thing. You can do it from anywhere, can't you?
That's it. Yeah, I've actually done it outside from a car park in West Palm Beach before.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Cool. That's cool. Let me just have a quick look. There's chats going quite busy over here. Let's see, flash dance scene. JP, can I tattoo a W on both of your bottom cheeks?
So it says "wow" when you bend over.
Yeah, that's right. Can you read this?
It's an old joke.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads and loads. So thank you very much. I'll try and have a look at these in a bit. And
it'll be. I'll just hear Nicola chuckling away, and I'll be going, "Damn it! What you laughing at?" Oh, don't worry about it. It's just flash dance and bottom jokes.
So the next question is: tell us something that the maker community doesn't know about you. I think this is going to be a difficult one.
I'll tell you, there's actually a couple. So the first one is a lot of you may or may not have seen the tiger that I did on the scroll saw. Right, I've actually got said tiger with me right here. Right, it's this here. Right, so there it is. I don't know where you can see that.
Just up a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, right, let me just put that down and get the mic back in my face again. Right, so that there was the very first real project and very first time I'd ever used spiral blades on the scroll saw, and that took 30 hours to do. So the saw that I used to do that is obviously the same saw that I'm doing now, and it was Chris Smith that kind of titled me the no excuses guy after I did a couple of projects after this, because it goes to show you, and a few people have called me out on it afterwards, and they've turned around and said, well, why haven't you got a big old fancy scroll saw? It's because I want to show people you don't need a big fancy scroll saw to do it. You know, why go out and pay nearly £600-700 for a scroll saw when you can go out and buy £100 scroll saw and do exactly the same?
Yeah.
You know, it may take you a little bit longer, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's basically it. So I didn't like spiral blades beforehand. In fact, I hated them. Couldn't get on with them. But after that project, now I find it hard to use straight blades, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but I find it hard to use straight blades now. But there's that. So now something else that the maker community, that very few people know about this in their community, and this will probably get the safety police going. So me and Chris are going to be in the same boat here. when I said earlier that the life got in the way, right? Some of you may not know I actually suffer with epilepsy. So that's what I meant when life got in the way.
Right.
So it's actually well controlled.
Yeah.
But I know my risks. I know my parameters,
Yeah.
and I've always said if something ever happens, it's on me.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm going to get hurt doing something I enjoy,
Mm.
and again, it's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not scared of them. I've had enough of them in my life to know what's going to happen. It's all on me.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
however, if anyone in the community wants to talk to me about it, feel free to message me. I've mentioned on our podcast before that I've got it, and I actually had an overwhelming amount of people contact me about the fact that they were suffering with it, and thank you for me for mentioning it. So if anyone else wants to reach out and just talk to me, whether it's them, a relative, a friend, talk to me.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. That's it.
Well, there you go. That's that really is something you didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No,
Did you know?
No.
Well, you got
But
two here that didn't know that.
I think as well. I mean, it's similar with you and Chris in that you don't allow any condition to get in the way of doing what you want to do.
No. No.
You know, when people say to me sometimes, "Oh, don't you worry about Chris hurting himself in the workshop?" Well, if he does, we deal with it. If and when
That's exactly it. Yeah.
you know, we're not going to
Yeah.
live our lives thinking, "Oh, well, you better not do that because you know you might have an accident." You've got
See, the problem is if I was to stand there worrying about am I going to have a seizure while I'm scrolling, am I going to have a seizure while I'm on the lathe,
You probably
the chances are I'm more likely to have a seizure.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I go through days not giving two damns about epilepsy.
Mm.
You know, I mean, touch wood, I haven't had a seizure in what I think coming up to 3 years now.
Yeah.
So the tablets are controlling it quite well. And
Yeah.
if you ask me, yeah, I mean, I have little jerks every now and again, but that's nothing big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no way I'm going to let it control me. No way.
No.
No, good on you.
Yeah, you like Nicola and I that we're not very PC, and we love a blind joke and things like that. So
Yeah,
you just let it just like water off a duck's back, and know exactly if you spend your life worrying about it, you might as well just sit in the corner of a room and just keep rock and drool. So
yeah.
No, it's the only way, in my opinion, to do things. Just sod the consequences. What will be, and let's crack on and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that being said, hail seizure.
Absolutely. I tell you, you can end up losing a lot of weight on that epileptic diet, Chris.
I know.
Have a seizure salad.
Yeah. Yeah. You won a breakdancing championship and you only got up for a sandwich. Now I want some quality blind jokes.
Well, Dave the Wood Barber.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Dave the Wood Barber said if you have your hand on top of the scroll saw and have a fit, it would help the machine go faster.
Well, yeah, it's like turbocharging it. The new improved Jamie Page supercharged scroll saw coming soon.
Yeah, there you go.
With laser sighting and voice control. Recommended retail price £75,000. We've already got it sussed out, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, put it this way: brought out a laser guided voice controlled scroll saw. I might just be tempted to have a go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
So, Jamie, tell people where they can find you, as if they don't already know, but tell them anyway.
Do you know, I used to be on so many shows as a co-host or something like that. I used to be able to do this off by heart.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in such a long time. Right, so my Instagram is JP_Woodwork.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel is JP Woodwork.
Yeah.
You can find me at the Makers International podcast. The website for that is makersinternationalpodcast.com. My personal website is jp-woodwork.com. I think that's about it, truth be told.
Well, that's not bad for starters, is it?
No.
Well, flipping heck. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You know that we're very fond of you, and I hope you go from strength to strength. And it's obvious that you are universally loved within the community.
Yeah, well,
and I think that's testament to what a really, really nice guy you are. And we're so thankful you've been our guest this evening. And yeah, you make me laugh. You always do every time we meet, and tonight has been no exception.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, so yeah, we think you're great, and yeah, absolutely amazing. So you're gonna hang around, you said? Well,
yes, mate. Yeah, I'll hang about
and talk about what we've been doing this week. So please feel free to chip in if and so.
Yep, no worries.
Cacao.
He's turned his baseball cap round and it says cacao on the back.
Bloody hell. Cacao.
Well, I tell you what, there's been loads of people on the live chat. I'm sorry I've not got round to reading them all, but thank you very much, and thank you for all the comments for Jamie, and I'm sure we'll have a proper read of them later on. There was one here. Wayne the Woodturner says blind man bled to death trying to read a cheese grater. I thought that was funny. So Jamie, thank you so much for joining us for the
no worries.
Make Monday segment.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
Feel free to chip in as we go. We'll start chatting on about our week now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, Jamie. You the man.
No, you up.
Wow, that was amazing, and yeah,
funny.
as always, Jamie's brought a certain sort of energy to the party, hasn't he?
Yeah,
yeah. Or as I was saying before, we're going to introduce our guest tonight as the lead guitarist out of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. See if we could get a few subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, funny. So, well, let's try and top that if we can. Flipping heck.
So, Christopher.
Yes, Nicola.
Right, well, let's just have a quick look on some of the comments. If anybody's got any pressing questions that I've missed, just feel free to repost them. Have any of you managed to make rings for Caitlin the cat? We've not managed to get a right size piece of wood yet, have we?
No, because I'm going to need to. I haven't got a piece of wood big enough in diameter that once I've roughed it out, I'm left with that size. So need to find out when it closes, that little.
I think it's sort of summer. She said, I think.
Oh, summer. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I did ask her. I think she said summer. Right. So yeah, but we are going to do that.
Yeah, we'll do our
best.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get a piece of wood.
Yeah, we might be able to get something this Friday, mightn't we? So what have we done this week then? What did we do at the weekend?
Oh yes. Well, the weekend was a demonstration in Surrey, East Surrey Woodturning Club.
Yeah.
And let's just start off by saying the trip down on Friday was flipping horrendous.
Yeah, it was.
7 hours.
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as we got down towards Stoke, the traffic was crawling, and we crawled all the way
then.
Yeah, we had the M6, the
M25,
M40, M25, all terribly slow and lethargic.
And even when we got near Croydon, we were hitting sort of rush hour traffic.
Rush hour traffic on a
awful.
Friday, and it's like they said that on Saturday at the Woodturning Club, rush hour on the M25 starts at about 1 PM on a Friday. So yeah, it was a nightmare. 7 hours. We were pretty pretty tired when we got there.
Yeah.
They put up us in a fantastic place, didn't they?
It was lovely. Yeah.
The Selsdon
Park Hotel. Part of Selsdon Estate. It's a De Vere hotel. But the joy of it was literally
2 minutes.
Yards away.
2 minutes from the demo.
So yeah, it was.
That was the reasoning for putting us up in there. But it was an old country estate.
It was an old country house hotel
from the 1920s.
But it's massive.
Dates back to the medieval time.
Yeah.
A Knights Templar.
Yeah.
And you said that it was a huge sprawling place.
Yeah. It looked a bit like an old school. But they had a golf course and massive grounds. I think it said they had 200 acres of land.
18-hole championship golf course there. I didn't ask, but I'm probably guessing the sort of place where they'd probably have maybe a gym and a pool. Probably
they definitely have that.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they had there was a huge American contingent there. There was some conference and there was lots of Americans.
And then there was the Windrush people on Friday night.
Yeah, the Windrush charity.
So there was, I think there was something on in a church in Croydon because it was an anniversary, a Windrush anniversary. So there were quite a few sort of, are they Caribbean? What is it from the Caribbean?
Yeah, it's West Indies, isn't it?
West Indies.
So,
but there was we had something to eat, and then Chris wanted some wine, so I went in the bar to get him a glass of wine. And as I was sat there was a guy with dreadlocks, but he got them up on top of his head, and it just looked really cool. So I just said, "I like your hair," and he got some medals on this side as well. Yeah, he was the sort of guy that I'd love to photograph, do a portrait of, a bit of character. But we were so tired that I would have loved to have had a chat with him. But yeah, we were just so tired.
And there was a high school leavers prom as well.
Yeah.
So there was lots going on. And you were reading some stuff out in the room, in the little sort of like welcome booklet.
Yeah.
And they're about to embark on a multi-million-pound refurb of the place.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't do too much to it because there's
a
lot of
lovely
period.
Yeah.
And you said there were lots of
the ceilings
pictures.
are like vaulted ceilings.
You said there was a lot of Elizabethan and Tudor.
Elizabeth I stuff.
Elizabethan and Tudor pictures and things. So yeah, lovely hotel. And 2 minutes to the demo.
And what was really nice was we got in the room and they'd got a dog bed for Bamba, and a water bowl, which was pink, which was great. And it was for me, and some treats. So he absolutely loved his dog bed. Normally he has just like a big huge cushion. But he curled up in this dog bed, which probably wasn't big enough for him, but he probably said it
was probably a good size for something like a spaniel, King Charles Spaniel, something of that size. But you're trying to shoehorn, huge. But he got in it and he curled up and he did not move.
There all night.
He did not, and he doesn't budge anyway. Once we go to bed, he comes in and says goodnight to us, doesn't he? He's such an amazing dog.
Yeah.
I say to Bamba, go and say goodnight to your mum. And he'll come in the room, walk round to Nicola, say goodnight. He'll come round and say goodnight to me, and then he gets on his cushion. That's the last of you hear of him then until breakfast. Till breakfast the following morning. But what an amazing hotel. And then 2 minutes to the demo. And we'd been there literally 5 minutes. And then Dave G Designs turned up.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes after that, someone turned up with the keys. So we had a good hour set up and prep time.
Yeah.
And the demo, the demo went really well. I did the Nicola style bowl
which is on Dave G's Instagram.
Yeah, but I put it over on the
I always find it hard to do it. That's the goblets that he made there.
So I thought, well, Nicola had always been saying, oh, could you not do a Nicola style goblet? So I thought, well, I'll leave it till the demo on Saturday in Surrey. So my plan was to do a Nicola style bowl and goblet. In fact, if I just go and get them, I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, Dave said he lives really close to where the demo was. I think he's only a few minutes away, but he was there all day.
So you've got, now again, apologies for those that
are listening,
just listening and not watching, but if you go to the YouTube channel at Home with the Fishers, you'll be able to see this. So you've got what I call the Nicola bowl. So it's got
you made this in Cardiff.
Yeah, an Axminster demo in Cardiff.
T plus G, this is the one that Chris made when we were in Cardiff.
So I did another one of those on Saturday.
Yeah.
A little bit different though. I didn't put the beads on it.
Yeah.
But I put a foot on it.
Yeah.
But it's still the same.
Same principle.
Same power carving, same colouring, airbrushing, and then this is the matching. You want to grab that and show people.
So this was Saturdays.
So I did a bowl in the morning and the goblet in the afternoon. So it's a Nicola.
And that's got texture on the bottom.
Yeah, when I got home, I parted it off pretty much 5 minutes left of the demo. Parted it off, and I said I'll take it home, and I reverse mounted it in my coal jaws, and then tidied up the base and put some spirals on it. So a Nicola bowl morning, Nicola goblet in the afternoon. Great demo, great crowd. It was for a Saturday turnout for them. It was good. Pretty much every seat was filled, and we had a great time. A lot of banter, a lot of chats, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was a great day. Yeah. And the journey home was 4 hours.
Yeah, wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it's pretty much spot on. That's the amount of time you should really be doing Surrey.
Yeah.
And back.
I mean, it's not. We always come back after the demo, even though it's been a long day, because at that time of night the drive's not usually too bad, is it? We've not had terrible journeys on a Saturday night, have we?
No, and generally we want to get home and get back.
We stayed once, didn't we? Bless you. We stayed once when we went to Nuneaton, I think.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of thinking, we should have just
could have gone home. So that would have been, just 2.5 hours.
I don't know why we did that.
Anyway, at least it got us out for a couple of nights, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, that was the demo. A lot of fun. Last week, backtracking a bit more, Matthew shot the first video.
Yeah.
And we've had that edited now.
Yeah, so it's not live yet, because when I last looked at it, it was still downloading. So
it'll be tomorrow night, probably. Yeah. Tomorrow night, I'll have a video up on my YouTube channel of the project I did with Matthew last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we'll be back this Wednesday.
But it's a vast improvement, isn't it?
We've listened to
being
it
able
today.
to have someone actually film you. It's made a big difference. And I think it flows better.
It sounded good, and you like the way it looks, and I like the way it sounded.
Yeah.
And there was just a couple of little editing tweaks. Don't forget, I'm still getting to know Matthew, and Matthew's still getting to know us, and we're going to build up a bit of a style for the time we're together. But first impressions are huge improvement as to what we were doing, and this is what you get when you get someone that's studying.
Well, it's so much easier for him to film you rather than you try and film yourself, because a lot of the time, once you've got the camera set up, you keep it there, don't you? Because
I have to.
You can't be wandering around the workshop all the time. But I think it's just lifted it really.
Yeah.
And also we see a bit more of you.
Yeah.
rather than just the lathe and the piece of work. So hopefully you'll like it. So Matthew came last Wednesday. He'll be back on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll get the video up tomorrow. We nipped to Axminster as well, didn't we, last week?
Yeah, that was just to get a couple of blanks really for the Surrey demo.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of bits, didn't we?
Yeah.
I got a new. We ended, yeah, as we'd mentioned, we got the new face shield, a new respirator to make sure that the PPE is there ready for the assessor, and actually the RPT people have been in touch and said they found an assessor.
Yes.
Currently on his holiday, vacation, but they have found because they said originally a regional assessor, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it's probably.
So we're just waiting now to hear
when they get back from holiday.
When they're going to do that.
So probably someone from the northwest, probably.
Yeah.
Mind you, I don't know how big the regions are that they cover, the assessors. So, but yeah, that's good news. That's another step nearer the assessment.
Yeah.
So
and then what did you do on Talking Turning Tea last week?
That was showing people the workshop, the cabinets and things.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, and I've been sort of like continuing that with some more tidying up, and I've been in there this afternoon.
Yeah.
Tidying up. So yeah, still trying to get things nice and tidy. So it's pretty much in a place now where I'm sort of like happy where it'll be. And I still need you to come in and I'll talk to you and show you what I've done, because you've not been in since I've done the last few bits. So that's pretty cool. So things are ticking along nicely in that respect.
Are you doing a Talking Turning Tea live tomorrow?
I should do, yeah, I probably will do. Okay. So something or other will be live tomorrow, and no demos this weekend, but the following week we're off to North Wales, D-side.
Yeah, 1st of July we're in D-side.
Yeah, 1st of July. Now that day is interesting because I've got a morning demo about 8 a.m.
Yeah, well, early-ish.
Early-ish, very early.
Yeah.
And then one that evening just down the road. So 2 demos on the same day. So we're actually going to get... Now, North Wales drive from here isn't that horrendous, but the fact that we've got to be up and running, pretty early doors at the Woodturning Club. So we're going to go over the day before, the night before, and we'll camp out in a Premier Inn or whatever.
Yeah.
So 2 demos in one day for 2 different clubs. But D-side in the evening.
Well, we've been there twice, haven't we?
Twice, yeah. So Owen Morris, who we know. Yeah. Well, we know them all. That's another lively, cheeky bunch, isn't it?
It's there's a guy in the Woodturning Club who is a funeral director, and
he's funny.
He's so funny. He's so cheeky. And the first time we met him, well, he just never shut up, did he? All the time, and then somebody said he's a funeral director.
Yeah, I suppose you've got to have a good sense of humour in that job.
Yeah, I said, well. But he's a funny guy. He's really good, isn't he?
Yeah. So that's going to be.
And we'll go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut just round the corner. Yeah, for our lunch.
We usually go there, and they look after us there. So.
Well, we've been there twice for the D-side, and she'd remembered us twice. So that's cool. The first time we didn't have Bamba, and then the next time we went in, we had Bamba.
Yeah.
And that was cool. So, what have you been up to, Nicola? Apart from feeling ill and dizzy and on the fringes of heat exhaustion this afternoon?
Well, I've been driving you around.
Yes.
Don't think I've done a lot this week.
You've done some writing.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, I did. I published a post on Medium because I had a moment when.
You decided to have a ranting.
I decided to have a bit of a rant. Somebody posted a comment on one of Chris's videos, sort of intimating that he was faking being blind. And I thought, right, I need to write down what I'm thinking now. So I did. But what was nice was Medium picked it up and curated it. So it got included in the health section and the disability. So I was quite pleased about that. So that's something I'm working on at the minute, doing more writing.
Can I just add to this little
rant?
It's whenever we mention something, you know, about when someone's had it, you know, a sly sort of like jab at me, and you know, it's this: how is it possible that someone can do what you do and be blind? It's a load of I'm going to use a couple of profanities, but not.
Yes, that's what they said.
Yeah. So it doesn't, and people say, "Oh, don't let it wind you up." It doesn't wind us up. We just need and feel from time to time that
we just need to express our opinion sometimes on it.
Exactly. And it's not that it winds us up. It's just that, you know, there's a lot of people that need educating out there. And Nicola had enough this one comment, and she thought, right, you know,
it was more that I suppose with the whole writing thing, I've always been quite reserved, and I think, you know, if you want to be successful, you
what?
JP said, "Can I get a free dog being epileptic?"
You can try it.
You can go and buy them in the pet shop.
Yeah. This is. Oh yeah, you know, it's like the people that, you know, throw these sort of like just nonsensical comments out. You know, it's like, you know, I've got my certificate of visual impairment. It's called your CVI. You know, and on that it says, you know, I'm not partially sighted or whatever. It says I'm blind. You know, and people think you can just walk into your doctors and go, you know what, I'm going to try being blind for the next 4 years to get out of work. Yeah, how do you think that's going to work, doctor? Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I'll give you a certificate of visual impairment, right? And I'd love a £57,000 dog, and just walk into a guide dog and say, oh, can I have a guide dog? Of course you can. We'll give them out to anybody. Yeah. Don't need to prove anything. Honestly, some people out there are right muppets, and it does start getting you to think, we need to educate these people, you know. And it's one of these people that come out with comments like that. The reason why they don't think it's possible is because they're lazy SOBs and they couldn't ever possibly do it, you know. So it doesn't get to us. It's just sometimes you need to take a stand. Enough's enough, and let's tell them what it is. And I did a tweet when you did your ranty article, the Medium. Yeah. I put out a tweet, and it was put, and it was 6 months of rehabilitation, 4 years of stomach churning, vomit inducing, panic stricken anxiety, 5.5 years of trying to perfect my craft. No one, this is who I am. No one is ever going to take this away from me. People think I've just woke up one morning and said, oh yeah, I'm going to be a blind woodturner. It's taken me 10, nearly 11 years to get to where I am, you know, and that includes the 4 years of wanting to top myself every day. So, you know, it's just enough's enough sometimes, and these people need to be told that, you know, try walking in my shoes.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, try walking in my shoes, let alone for 11 years, for 5 bloody minutes, and see how you get on. So so it was a great article, and Medium picked up on it and curated it, as Nicola says. Yeah. So you got that, and then you've been doing some more writing today.
Yeah, been doing a few more bits. I've got a bit of a plan that I'm working to, so it's something that I want to. I don't know. It's hard to explain really, because it's not quite clear in my head yet what I'm doing with it all. But I do have a bit of a plan. I'm at an Instagram thing on Saturday, which looks quite interesting. It's a get together in Manchester, but it all looks quite fashion conscious.
Yeah. So we were joking before.
But I'll be scraping the barrel with what I've got in my wardrobe.
Jeans and t-shirt.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's it really.
Yeah. So that's it for you, really.
Yeah. What about you? Anything else?
Well, we've said Matthew's coming this Wednesday again. We've already discussed what we're going to do for a video, but I'll leave that until you see it. Go on then. What is it? Chuckle.
Wayne the Woodturner says 10 years. God, you're slow.
I am. Yeah.
So, right then. Have I missed any questions? Anything that I think everybody's chatting amongst themselves here. There's lots of people being on tonight, so thank you all very much for joining us.
Yeah, Wayne, I'll put the gauntlet down now. You turn a bowl with a blindfold on and record it. I'm daring you. Are you up for it? Everybody dare Wayne to do a project with a blindfold on, and that includes airbrushing it and texturing it. Are you up for it, Wayne?
Done. Right.
So yeah, well, that's pretty much where we're up to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jamie, anything else you'd like to add?
Just thanks for having us. Really, it's been a hell of a show. I've really enjoyed myself.
Good.
It's not very often you get to make fun of a blind person.
Hey, I do it every day.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange world we live in.
Yeah,
but Amy, if we're not laughing about it, we're crying about it.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
What I'd rather be doing, same as you, pal.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, but what you just need to say there though now is you dare Wayne.
Well, there's a few people.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Yeah, Wayne, if you don't do it, then
10 years is slow.
And once you've done that, Wayne, I'm going to send you a scroll saw pack, and you got to do that blindfolded as well.
Yeah, but what he's forgetting is I've not been turning 10 years. It's only 5.5 years, so that's just half it, pretty much. So, so Wayne Clasper, everybody, is going to be doing a project in the next few weeks from start to finish on his YouTube channel with a blindfold on.
Has he got to do it live, Chris?
Yeah, well, live would be better, like I have to sometimes. In fact, a good way forward is what Rob did from Prickly Sauce. Pair of goggles, gaffer taped up. Now,
and set his camera up as well.
Yeah, he's got his camera up as well, and he's got to do a project from start to finish, blind, live, and that includes airbrushing and texturing. So there you go. Let's up the ante.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Sorry, Wayne.
Yeah.
Obviously, health and safety, etc.
No, it's Wayne's workshop. Wayne's rules.
Yeah, Wayne's world.
Yeah, Wayne's world. Yeah, funny.
Right. Well, JP, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Having you on, and I shall make all this live tomorrow. Next week we're in North Wales on Monday, so we may well do a pre-recorded video. The week after, I think it will be Andy Berkey. So
nice.
So that will be fun.
Yeah. So remember, folks, please drop us a line if you want to be included in the podcast. Experienced, rookies, doesn't matter. We'll have anyone. Yeah.
Well, it's just about talking about making.
Yeah.
So we want to include everybody that would like to be involved. So thank you all very much for joining us, and thank you to our guest Jamie Page.
Yes, thank you so very much, Jamie. You know,
No worries.
love you dearly, man, and try and keep cool this evening.
Will do.
It's a bit
Will do.
Yeah.
Yes. Until the next time, folks, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Have a
Take
great
it easy.
day.
Bye.
Bye.